No, I'm not. I pushed the button. It's not my fault that the microphone didn't accept my button push. It's not a scary snail.
This TTS sadly doesn't have the same mojo as Parable. Scarbada bada badu bella dabbly dabbla 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 bab bella babella babella babla bablo doobly doo.
Well, you see, the difference is that this TTS is not run by generative AI. It's done by good old-fashioned phoneme parsing. Just like our forefather, Microsoft Sam. It's extremely resource efficient. Turtle, look. It's your favorite. Uncle Microsoft Sam. Turtle loves it. Turtle loves him. New buddy. New buddy. Turtle, come on. This is not the only snail in this game by a long shot. Come on, Turtle. Come on. Just gives you a little. He just gives you a little eyeball hug. Turtle, you are the one being unreasonable. It's you. It was you all along. Okay. I kind of know what I want.
Hobbs doesn't dare flip the generative AI switch on the TTS. Next thing you know, Harry Bellend is in here interviewing the Queen of England, who is dead, but yet it continues.
But yet it continues is the tagline for GQ Stream. Unfortunately, we're back. GQ, Turtle is making a fuss, and I don't know what about. Honestly, I don't get it. Somehow, GQ continued. It just keeps going. I'm sorry, GQ, but you have a fan. Look at this. This is weird. It doesn't show up the same for you guys as it does for me. Like at all. That is bizarre. That implies some very peculiar stuff. The AI now? The AI now. All right. I want you guys to look. Well, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You can't tell, but my mouse cursor is huge right now. Like, you see this square I'm pointing to right here. On my screen, if I position it right here, it is exceeding the vertical coverage from this line to this line. And that is because Lil Toadette figured out how to change mouse cursors. You can see that it's blue. Oh, this is puzzling. That implies that OBS doesn't actually see your mouse cursor. Your mouse cursor does the same. The same thing that I described of being really big. Is that? So who we're talking about? It's just really big. And I'm not confused about the fact that it's really big. I know I've watched her change the settings to make the mouse cursor really big. Shows small in the game. The thing is, it doesn't show small in the game. I can see it in the game. Well, it's not in the game. I can see it here on the screen in front of me, and it's big. You guys can't see it.
If you had told me 7 years ago, my life would be full of snails, horses, sixes and bellends, I would have snapped my phone in half and gone Amish.
Turtle is really on an Amish kick. It really churns his butter. It changes its speed, and when you don't know it does that, it's very confusing. I imagine so. I imagine so. See, that tells me that the mouse capture in OBS is lying or something like that. Well, I get the benefit of having a huge mouse cursor. You guys do not, which is weird. I wonder if there is something... well, let's see. That wouldn't be studio. Left monitor. Properties. Yeah, so you can disable or enable. I've turned off capture cursor, and you can no longer see my mouse cursor. Turn it back on, and you can, but it's tiny. So if I change the capture mode... Oh, there we go. There we go. If I change it to Windows 10 mode, you actually can see what I see now, which is a giant mouse. There we go. This was what I'm talking about. This is what my mouse appears like to me. So apparently the different capture modes do things differently. I guess one of them ignores settings and just generates a fake mouse or something. This is neither here nor there. It doesn't make any difference. But yeah, look at that. Big old mouse now. Now you can see what I see. Now you see things as they now like me.
The number 6 and think it should be used more. Also, I hope everyone has a fabulous Doopster day, and also do boo boo boo.
Doop boo boo boo. Hello, Link. Thank you for the TTS. Happy Doopster Day. It was the Darkest Dungeon quote. Now, like me, you begin to see things as they truly are. That's what he says. I'd pull up the soundbite, but it would play really, really loudly because all of those sound clips are like really loud. Okay. So I want King Snail to be in this fight. You're not just up against a big snail. You're up against Big Snail and King Snail, who will be buffing and healing, I think. It's going to be one of those fights. You know, one of those fights. You know, one of those fights. One of those fights. But how... Part of me wants to put him on top of the Molsk. But I don't know if that is a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all, honestly. Because then it's like you have to get things moving together, and you have to like, wow, well, what if one of them is defeated already? Okay. We'll just have him sitting aside in the back line. But he'll be a separate opponent type. Okay, so this guy needs more attacks. That's the big thing. Nobody tell Turtle that we're giving the snail more attacks. Yet more attacks. Molsk tackle. This is the Molsk, by the way, GQ. I hope you're excited about that. All right, we'll give him a roll attack. Target directory. All grounded enemies. You know what? I had Harvest Moon on 64, and I enjoyed it, which leads me to believe that it probably wasn't good. But I feel like I've heard Dove talk about that game favorably. Merry Christmas, your Harvest Moon! Daddy, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, a strawberry grows in the greenhouse. Yeah, well, your teacher's full of snot. Recognize Harvest Moon. Was an okay game. We're going to take the snail roll. We're gonna play the tire screech. We're gonna do something very similar to this, but different. You know what I'm saying? Similar but different. Do we do a spin attack animation? I assume so. We're gonna move actor to the first target. That's not Metroid Prime at all. Beautiful. It's a good try. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. I want multi. Targets, source. Okay. Targets. This mouse cursor might be too big. Gonna level with you. It's probably a little too big. Give me mouse. Change mouse size to be more normal. I'll still make it slightly bigger than average. Uh-oh. Okay, we're back. Move actor to the first target, and then keep moving. Target.actor.position. No, let's take the final target, which should be -1 index. I think that's how that works. Take its position and add target directory and go an additional 5 meters. That's off screen 1. Off screen 2 is self. -10. Probably don't need that much. We're gonna do a teleport. We don't do a teleport. We just do a set flag of position. Fire tween. I don't want to fire tween. I want to set flag. Come on. Nothing? Nothing uses that? Chapter 2 moves almost certainly does, though. Yeah, here we go. You just set flag position. But you have to pass in the sprite holder. And then you can do just this at some point. Okay. So we're gonna do move actor into the target position. When you get there, Q hurt actions do vibrate. Don't do this. Keep moving actor until you get to off-screen position 1. At which point, set flag position to off-screen 2. Hey, Germdove's here. Germdove, did you like Harvest Moon 64? And then move back to original position. And then maybe wait half a second, and then we're done. It was fine. This is weird to me. Because I remember playing it, and I remember enjoying it. And that says to me right away that it probably wasn't a very good game. Mirror flag. Did I ever get this to work? Mirror block. I don't know that I did. Pretty much every Harvest Moon you could get your hands on. Ah, greedy little moon boy. Molsk roll. Everyone loves the Molsk. Greedy little Harvest Moon boy. It'd just be the exact same, but with a little straw hat and a chicken statue somewhere in there. Would love to give this guy a third attack. Maybe some kind of status effect launched. See, slow is a good contender, but slow feels very powerful. I know I talked a lot about slow as a status effect yesterday. In a turn-based system like this, where there's not like initiative order or, you know, whatever they were doing in Final Fantasy VI, slow would basically boil down to you miss every other turn. And that kind of sucks. That's really rough. Especially if you're doing potency, wherein it would be, well, you see, you on potency 2, you only get one every 3 moves, and it was like, oh, jeez, it's a lot. If he inflicted a coin flip of slow 1, that's not too bad. 50% chance of missing 1 turn? How many turns do you miss in that kit? How does that work? Like, if you had 1 turn of slow, do you miss the turn or not? Like, I mean, surely you do. And now you got to keep track of which turn the effect started on and count from there. And that means expanding the status effect system further to make that possible. Let's say that's what it is, though. Let's say that if you have, like, 2 turns of slow 1, that's identical to 1 turn of slow 1. You just miss the first turn in both cases. See, that's not very interesting. Someone brought up the idea of slow becoming a coin flip in itself, of like, okay, are you going to get a turn or not? Let's flip a coin and find out. And then 1 turn versus 2 turns actually does make a difference. But in my current understanding of how slow should work, it would just be you miss a turn on 1 turn of slow or 2 turns of slow, which is silly. I'm trying to think, there's got to be some other way to make slow interesting, but I'm not sure what. But I think a status effect move would be a good way to round out the Molsk's move set. Slow the inputs for like action commands. GQ, that is planned. I don't want to theme it as slow. I'm not sure what I want to theme it as. Originally, it was going to be themed as burn, like a burn status effect, that the your menu is on fire, and using the move causes it to burn up into ash, and you have to wait a few turns for it to come back. I ended up making burn more like Dicey Dungeon burn, which is when a move is on fire, you can use it, but it will hurt. Like you will take damage for using a burning move. But yeah, I've got a really devious plan. You know what? I will reveal my devious plan for the cooldown status effect, whatever that gets themed as. After I introduce it, I want there to be some kind of optional boss, maybe a little bit of post-game stuff. I want to have some kind of mini dungeon in each of the major regions of the game that you can come back to at some point to do an optional quest after a certain amount of chapters. And this would be great for one of those. So the effect is once you use a move, it becomes unavailable for potency turns. So like if you let's call the effect I don't know, evaporate. If you have evaporate 2, level 2 evaporate on, then any moves you use become unavailable for the next 2 turns. They evaporate. Okay, so that makes sense. My terrible plan is that one of these bosses that you come up against inflicts you right off the bat with evaporate level 99 or something ridiculous like that. And so, what does that do? That means for the duration of the battle, every move you use, you can use one time. Keeping in mind, you start the game, Dabble starts with 2 moves. So it becomes kind of a puzzle boss of maximizing damage across your moves, working through all your partners. Actually, that would be pretty funny. I gotta keep in mind the idea of a quick switch. I don't want to have a quick switch module, I don't think. It was extremely powerful in TTYD. It was 7 badge points, most expensive in the game. I would say yes. Getting knocked out clears all status effects. Even if you get revived. So you could just stock up on revives. You could let your partners fall and then clear the status effects on them as well. But that's the thing, is you gotta keep enough items stocked. Because I would definitely say that if anyone on the field doesn't have the status effect, this creature would immediately try to inflict it again. So it's like that might buy you 1 turn of fresh moves. Well, I guess it would refresh all your moves. So if you kept a stock of 10 lemons, then get somebody knocked out and then just get all their, like, put all of your stock in one character, give them tons of moves. It's a strat. I don't want it to have a single way of being solved. If you want to go with, stock up on lemons versus if you want to stock up on a ton of moves or just a lot of offensive items that you could use, I think that's cool that there would be different ways to approach that kind of puzzle fight. Slow as a status effect. Sluggish inputs is... I am intrigued. GQ uses keyboard. Enemy was cancelled. It'd be really silly if your inputs were also slow on the menu itself. I think that would have to happen, right? Oh, that feels dastardly, especially for action commands. Oh, that's nasty. All the timing on all your action commands. But it have to be just for that one character, the one that actually has slow on it. Oh no. Ooh. Okay. Can I do this? Can I? Here's the problem. All of these moves, all these action commands, right? Even the very simple ones. Let's take gear spin, the simplest one. You press a button. Can I get a hat wobble? You press a button and then that stops the spinner, right? Simple. So it's right here. If input dot is action just pressed, confirm, then we did it. End the mini game and read the results. We're talking about a way to capture and override inputs and also then simulate those inputs in such a way that this function can read them, because otherwise we would have to go through a lot of code to make slow function that way. It's a very interesting idea because it's not just a stat change, it's an actual change to your interface. That's not the first time that's been done in a game. I mean, I'm sure even slow has been done that way before. Of just input delay. Okay, let's start with this. Let's see if there is actually already a simple way to simulate input delay. Doesn't seem like it. So the next step is see, can we override? Can we simulate an input? Emulate? Okay, is there a way to emulate a user input such that it calls unhandled input? Okay, this guy's trying to write unit tests. Perfect. So he wants to have... Yeah. Okay. Parse input event. Okay. Oh, this is a fun little idea for a function here. If controller gets unplugged, then simulate the pause event. That's clever. I don't think it's as big a deal in a turn-based RPG, but I like it, regardless. What is this for? Godot 4, perfect. Okay, input.parse event. Input.parse event. Yeah. All right. Let's do something dumb. You guys like that? You guys like doing dumb things? Because I do. Okay, so what we're gonna do I love doing dumb things. All right, I'm gonna copy this guy's code and we're gonna edit it slightly. Up. Tab spaces. Okay, so this should, maybe, press the up input once, maybe multiple times. I don't know how this is gonna work. 3 seconds after the game starts. We might be in business. Oh no. Okay, so there's a way to simulate events. Then next, is there a way to intercept events and then tell the difference? Suppress input. Suppress input. Ignore input. Set input as handled. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's check the input singleton. Okay, so suppose. Okay, what is this handled? That doesn't even show up. Oh, that's viewport related. So is there a way I can just prevent further processing? Processing, no. Prevent, no. Okay, Godot, input, prevent further processing. Like I want to intercept a keyboard or controller input. Disabling input temporarily. Ignore keyboard input. Disable control capturing keyboard. No, that's not it. Let's see here. This is gonna be this is a really oh boy. Oh no. Is it yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. I hammed it up and I paid the price. Just thought you guys liked ham. Come on, give me the ham emote, why not? Oh, but is it transparent or not? I can't actually tell. It's not even transparent. It's not even transparent. We have to do no, that's not. I want to do multiply filtering on it. Is that gonna work? Would that work? How would you get that? Luma key? That does work. That does work. It's not the cleanest way to do it, but it does work. Oh. Yeah, I still got just a little bit of a lead, a little bit of an edge there, huh? That'll have to do. Don't talk to me or my chipmunk son ever again. There we go. Perfect. I hate that it's got a little bit of an outline. I hate that it has a little bit of an outline, and I want to fiddle with the Luma settings. Stupid Luma settings. It's just not. No. See, it's just not there. No, definitely not. You could see that it's still got the outline. What, you can't do like a color grading? That's not gonna. No, that's lifting. No, this is not what I want at all. Get rid of that. Get it out of here. great question. So if I take out pure white, what would that do? Oh, see, it's not pure white though, is it? Because it's like it's a little pixel that's like just mixed with white. So really, I'd like a blur edge. I'd love a. See, blur is just gonna blur the whole thing, which is hilarious. But it's like I don't want that. I would want the whole thing, you know? Terrible. Terrible. Image mask with itself? Image mask with itself? Because it's not transparent. But it is white. Maybe? Yeah, hang on. Okay, hang on. Image mask, path, the image. Uh-oh. It doesn't count that as an image file. Somebody made it a WebP. Okay, it still works. Great. Now, invert it. Come on. Come on, invert it. Great. It's everything except what I want. Ah, now we're talking. Okay, hang on. Get rid of this. Bring back this. Bring back blurry Dobbs. And then try this one right here. Override the area. Oh, it's like almost it. See, it sure is still blurring quite a bit. There was an invert just a bit ago. I swear I saw an invert function for blur. And now it's gone. Unbelievable. Apply mask. Region. Oh, it's region lets you apply a... But what region? What do you mean, what region? Oh. Well, that doesn't help at all, does it? Doesn't help at all. All right, well, then I don't care. How about that? I don't even care. Terrible. Terrible. Little guy. Just a little guy. All right, so this works mostly. This right here. Input. We do this on the input manager. We do a little bit of processing to see if you're using a keyboard or a controller. That's pretty much it. And then we use input on pause menu a lot because that's where the controller remapping lives. All right, let's see this. Does this get captured by input? Input, event action pressed, yeah. Okay, and then everything else. Okay, so yeah, that it does collect these actions. So I would need some way to pass in additional data. I have no idea how to do that. Okay, imagine, all right, what we're trying to do is anytime we receive input, store it, like let's say you press left on the control stick, store it, wait 3 seconds, and then replay it. The problem is the function that would store it and replay it would trigger itself 3 seconds later. Because I have a function that says anytime you receive input, process it and play it back 3 seconds later. That playback counts. It's like microphone feedback. It's listening for inputs, and that delayed input is still an input that it's going to catch. So one thing we could do is put in basically an echo protection. Basically say, hey, if on this frame you receive an input that I happen to be in the process of playing back, don't record it. But what if we get 2 copies of it? Well, okay, that's not too bad, because we could just remove it from the list and bring it back. Did you get me a nice pib extra? So many. Can we get a... Oh, he's blocking the ad view here. Can we get a John Leguizamo slowly sliding across the entire screen? That'd be great. Germdove, you've really put me in a spot because this is too good to pass up if we can get it to work. And that's the problem, if we can get it to work. Event dot accumulate? What does that do? What does accumulate do? Can be added to get, oh, okay. As text, get strength, is action, pressed, is echo. What's an echo event? Oh, an echo event is when you hold a key down. That's cool. Is match, is pressed, is released, formed by. Great. So that's an input event, huh? But then what can I do with that? Maybe, okay, maybe joypad button has extra, no, it just tells you what button it is. Okay, well that's not useful then. Okay. Until a node consumes it. How do I consume it? Why viewport? Why viewport? Okay, I'll try this. Wait. What is this saying? What is this saying? Cannot call non-static. Make an instant. Oh, I need to actually get. There's some kind of get viewport, right? Camera.get viewport. There's got to be like a get current viewport. There it is. There's just a get viewport. Oh, that's on camera, isn't it? No. Returns the node's closest viewport ancestor. Okay, so just call get viewport. Okay. So I just call get viewport. Set input is handled. Does this possibly work? Does this possibly work? No, it's not. It's not handling my inputs at all. Let me see. Godot. Okay. All right. All right. How to set input is handled. Ugh. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, this is gonna be bad. We're about to do some serious curse stuff here if this works. If any function consumes the event, it can call scene tree. Oh, we're in 3.2. Get out of here. Let's see here. Input event. A funny joke. Like this should do it. Prevent is action just pressed. Can I do it with set input event is as handled? Does this work? I really don't want to like wrap everything in a whole handler. I'm doing all right, Mr. Mike. I am doing something that is not really intended. I am trying to prevent keyboard input from being read by the game. I want it to not accept any of this from happening. Well, hang on. Maybe it is working. Just not in the way I would expect. Let's look at the remote tab here. No, Game Manager is like one of the first things here. So that should catch it and block it. We were playing around with ideas related to the slow status effect. And Dove brought up an idea that I briefly considered before, like make all the action commands harder. Like make them all run faster or something like that. And he said, like, what about delay the inputs that you receive? And I was like, I don't even know if that's possible. And then I realized it might be possible. It might be possible. So I'm just looking at lots and lots of forum posts. Let's see here. Right. Set input is handled. Yep. Get tree. Huh. Can you do that? Does this work? No. Does this work? That says it works, but I don't know if I believe it. Working late. Nah, I get you. Oh, nope. Doesn't like that. Okay, put that back. Let's look at the base menu class here. Is action just pressed? I've got for handling up and down right here. I want to force input is action just pressed to return false. It does not. Okay, hang on. Yeah. It does not accept this. Oh, I would really hate. Just put all the inputs in a queue. I mean, that's the idea. Is whenever an input comes in, grab it, put it in a delayed queue. Basically, just kind of set a X number of second delay on it, and then 3 seconds later, actually fire the event. Hey, Mendoza. The problem is I don't want it to fire that initial event. Like if you press the A button on the controller, I want to suppress that A button event from actually happening when you initially press it, delay it for 3 seconds, and then process it. With the current, I'm using the built-in singleton to get this is action just pressed, and I don't think there's a way we can override that. which it would suck. Yeah, here we go. Inputs methods reflect the global input state and are not affected by... Well, can I... Okay. Can I modify global input state? Can I modify the input state? I can read it. I can simulate events, but can I tell it that the event is not in place anymore? Can I set input state? I can inject input events, but that doesn't take input events out, does it? I don't think so. Feeds an input again can be used to artificially trigger inputs. Yep. Great. Artificial input delay. Is there a way to do this? How to add 4 seconds of input? Okay, hang on. Well, no, see, this is close. Nah. Let's see here. No. Okay, how about Godot clear input state? I don't want to pull it. I want to set it. I don't want to build my own input handler. Huh. What is this action release? Well, that's not going to help, is it? That's just going to fire another event. If it is already pressed, it will release it. Okay, yeah. Agile input flushing. The engine will already do this itself at key execution points. No. Okay, I'm checking the input class to see if there's any other way we could do this. Is pressed. But yeah, it's gonna come down to It'd be pretty cursed. It'd be pretty cursed. Okay. All right. So one terrible idea that I hate is every instance in the entire game where we currently process input, replace that with a call to our input handler class, which is obviously terrible. So not the add-ons, but everything else. Action just pressed, action just pressed. Yeah, look at this, look at this. We got 84 matches. Minus like 4 from an add-on. Oh no, that's gonna look at the get access function would have to be overridden. Oh, that would suck. Oh, that'd be really, really bad. Dang it, Germ Dove. Right now, just feasibility. $156 matches for input. Because we want to get vector. Is action pressed? What else? What else? Yeah, a lot. A lot. Okay, how about this? Godot override built-in function. No such luck. No, we can't override that one. Okay, wouldn't be in here, wouldn't be in here, wouldn't be in here. Okay. So that at least takes out some of it. Get all the add-on stuff out of here. And then we're left with pretty much the original 84. Get vector creates a difficult one. That's particularly rough right there. That's particularly rough. How do you delay the vector? You'd basically have to maintain an array of every frame over the last X number of seconds of the input vector so that you could interpolate the value 3 seconds later. That's awful. That's awful. Yeah, get vector. Yeah, because the special moves. Get axis. If it was just a matter of applying it to every existing move, that wouldn't be too bad. But it's not future-proof because I would inevitably end up using one of the built-in functions on one move somewhere. And now we've got a bug where this one move is not affected properly by the slow status effect, and everything goes wrong as a result. Yeah, even if we could override is action pressed, get access really throws a real wrench in the works. Well, darn. Okay. Okay. That's too bad. Part of me wants to think like, oh, there's got to be some way, but I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. What else can you? All right. First off, get rid of this. What else can you do with a slow status effect, other than delaying inputs? What is that? What good is that? Something that doesn't require rewriting every move in the game. Hey, you aren't. That's not how that move's supposed to work. Hold on now. That's not how that move is supposed to work. Okay, I guess we never did test it. Move actor towards the target. Then continue moving him all the way to off-screen 1. Success. Set flag. Position to off-screen 2. He's supposed to get warped to off-screen 2, and that did not happen for some reason. Why didn't that work? It worked for her. Maybe I calculated the position wrong. Off-screen 2 is supposed to be the source. Yeah, it's supposed to be... Let's get that tested. -7. 12. So that it is calculating the correct value here. Set flag position on sprite holder's source. Set flag battle actions. Oh boy, this is still a bit of a mess. Element is the actor. dot set. Flag name is position to value. Type of value is array. No. Okay, so print element, print flag name, print value. Go ahead and print all that. And then also print get flag name, if it'll even let me do that. Do that before and after. We're gonna do a little debug check here. See if anything comes of this. Ref count. Oh. That doesn't look like an actor to me. Like if I was looking at that, I would say yep. There's your problem. I was moving something that does not have a position. I was moving the stat block. There we go. Much better. Okay, well, he needs a little bit more animation to him. So he needs a does he go into his shell for this attack? I'd say so. So we want to hide the sprite 3D. So let's do set flag here. Actor. Ooh. Okay, I think I can do it this way. Set flag source.actor get node sprites slash sprite 3D visible false, and then at the end when he gets home make it visible again. We need spin attack as an animation, which, you know what, sure. Spin attack. Oh, and make sure to change animation back to idle at the end then, right? After we teleport him. Spin attack is going to be very straightforward. Just going to rotate this around the z-axis negatively. All right, I think, is that enough already? Are we done? Maybe. Oh, well, that animation needs to loop. Maybe that would help if the animation was looping, and I would love it if it was like twice as fast. That's fine. That's good enough. I would like to add a little bit more to it, but it's just gonna have to be what it is. Let's bring up the Snail King. Oh, beautiful, beautiful guy. What does he have? Hurt animation looks like that. Spin attack looks like that. Makes sense. Talk animation. Oh yeah, he's talking all right. So we're gonna add a new something or other. I want to give him like a little banner that he can use to buff his allies. Something like that. I don't know what we'll call it. I'm going to make sure the flag is done in such a way that we can do a modulate to change the color as we need. Man. That'd be a terrible name for a banner that can buff your teammates. Would hate that. Terrible, terrible. Get rid of it. Oh, we can do this in pieces. We can do this in pieces in a clever way. I was more of a conch man. Gosh, I love the conch. Banner is good. Banner is really good if you got a good team. Conch is really fun for just going solo. That was me. That was me plugging in the tablet. We're doing drawing. Every time that we start drawing, everyone gets treated to a lovely Windows beep. Okay. It's just too much of a pain for me to pipe it in through anything else. I'm just gonna duplicate this layer so that I can get that curve perfect. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna have the actual stick, and we're gonna do a little trick. So instead of like having a single flag, we're actually going to break it apart into multiple pieces strategically. Let's see, how would this work? Then we could curve around. You see what I'm getting at here? Is that we can kind of do this to give it some really nice animation without having to do any kind of crazy cloth physics. Okay, I think that'll work. We're gonna find out if it'll work. I don't know if it'll work. pretty straightforward here. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. I think I'd like for this to be kind of a metallic color here instead of a wooden stick. We can square this up a little bit more. Let's do a little bit of this. There we go. Now we can apply whatever color we want to it. All right, cool. There's our banner. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. I think that's gonna be great. And see, the main actor for the Snail King is already done. Brace for a Windows noise. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Give me that actors banner. Okay, come on. I just made the file. It's here, I tell you. There it is. All right, let's go over to the 2D here, and we're gonna add it to. It's gonna like wave it all around, right? So that should be attached to his shell, perhaps. Banner pole. Region is this. Ordering is that. We need to set the offset for purposes of rotating this. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't do this very often. Set the offset outside of the boundaries. There we go. Looks good. Flag 1. Now, does the rotation pivot also serve as a scale pivot? It does. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. So we can scale this down slightly. And then the final bit here. which again can be scaled down further. And so this can be kind of like a little ruffly effect going on with it. It's going to be cool. And this can be whatever kind of modulate we want. So boom, we got as many color flags as we want now. It's great. Okay, so flag wave. Banner pole will by default be turned off. Point this at the animation canvas. Banner pole. We're gonna need a new animation for when he's waving the flag, which I think we could use one of these as a base. It's a pretty good one right there. Actually, I think I love that one for this. Okay, so we're gonna take walk. We're going to duplicate that for flag wave. Banner pole visibility turns on. There it is. Wow. And now we need to make it fly back and forth very quickly. So we're going to start it out back here. And bring it to here. And things are going to get weird pretty fast. Scale. Okay, that's the opposite of what we want. That's pretty good already, hilariously. That said, I want to make it stay in each of these positions for longer. That looks like weirdly 3D. We're gonna mess with the position here. So the idea that I'm going for here is that this should go like okay, so this should be like, what is this? What is this? 0.1 to 0.4, and then this should be 0.6 to 0.9. Oh, that's got really slidey there. Okay, flag 2 position, flag 3 position. Okay, these can be cubic. Let's try messing with this a bit more. is rather wavy now. I think I like it. Try moving this a little bit more. You give it a little bit more whip. Enjoy your jog. Okay, flag wave. Done. Banner pole needs to be copied into shell on the sub viewport level. Now let's make sure this is actually big enough here. Ooh. Oh, it fits. It fits easily. Oh, that's great. Okay, so now he's going to have a new animation for this new battle. So for this, actually, he needs to have a new entry in the enemy directory. Because he's back. He's Snail King 2. So he's going to have more HP, more strength, yada, yada, yada. Huh. How does the tattle log work with... Huh. Are there any cases in Thousand Year Door where you actually fight the same enemy twice? Because Chapter 2 boss is not Lord Crump. It's technically Magnus von Grapple. So what does that do to the tattle log? When you have the same enemy, like Bowser. Like, you fight Bowser twice, but he can't... Yeah, Bowser 1, Bowser 2. He's still tattle log 41. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So how does the log change? That's weird, because it's still the same. I guess the tattle log updates. I don't know if I love that. It makes sense to have a different... Okay, so TTYD is weird because if you look in the enemy log, the tattle log from the pause menu, it's not the exact same stuff that Goombella says in combat. It's more straightforward, less fluff. She has commentary in combat. So it makes sense that that would be different, but the actual log changes after Bowser 2. So I don't know how I'm going to handle this exactly. We'll come up with something. This will be a tough fight, though. I wanna have two enemies that are raring to go here. Battle manager. King Snail. Yeah, they're not gonna flank. I may need to do a little bit of... I've got a property... Oh, whoops. That's the exact opposite of what I wanted to happen. Yeah, this is bad. It's fixable. Battle spacing is the property. that indicates that this enemy is big and needs more room on the field. So for spacing purposes, count it as 2, 3, whatever. There we go. That's better. That's great even. This big old 3D rendered shell. Great, cool. Okay, so King Snail is going to need some buff moves. That's going to be his big thing. Target directory. Friendly. What is friendly? Does friendly include myself? Yes, it does. There's myself. Friendly. So we need a special friendly not self target. Friendly not self. Okay. Friendly not self is my team. Filter it to alive, not scarecrows. And then further filter to not self. I think that works. Friendly, not self. Very silly. Okay, so we want to change animation to whatever we called that. Flag wave. Make sure we change back to idle at the end. Play a sound of some kind. What's the summon? Special moves. We do a summon. Play scale up sound. That's the one. Play scale up sound. Wait for 1500 seconds. And then I guess that's that. Do a heal. Which that we can grab from item moves. We have a heal effect right here. Use healing item. Hold item above head. Yep. Run health effect. Run health effect. I don't remember exactly how that works, but it sounds good. Sprite holder needs to be the target. Oh, just target. It's fine. Heal effects. Battle actions is a collection of items I can throw in the queue that will do one thing and report when they are done. For instance, a very simple one, move actor. I provide it with which actor to move and where to send it, and optionally I can give it a speed and some other stuff. And what it will do is the whole queue is just a system, is basically an array of these things to do, these to-do list items. When it is this action's turn, what will happen is all other operation will stop, and the only thing that will be processed in that queue is moving this actor towards that point at this speed. And if we get there, then we report, hey, that one's done. We can move to the next item in the to-do list. If we don't get there in this frame, we don't process anything else in this queue. We just wait until next frame, get a little bit closer, wait until next frame, get a little bit closer until we get there. And then once we do get there, then move actor says, I am now done. Please move on to the next step, which might be change an actor to an animation, or inflict damage, which that is its own huge action that does all kinds of things. Because taking damage is not just deduct HP. It is, I need to process whether or not the player's blocking. I need to calculate what the damage is, then deduct the HP, then swap them to a hurt animation, and then queue up further events, such as after half a second, change them back to their normal animation, or have them play their death animation. So there's all kinds of things. So battle actions is a pretty big class because it's just a list of different things I want for moves to be able to do, but it's just divided up into smaller pieces. So like a full move, like the Molsk roll, is, okay, hide the face, make the controller vibrate, change the animation into a spin, play a sound, wait 1 second, move the actor into the target, deal damage to all the targets, vibrate the controller, move the actor off screen, teleport the actor to the other side of the screen, change them back to their regular animation, move them back to their starting position, make their face visible again, wait half a second, and then the action is done. Whew. So that's all one move. But if I put in all this code about, like, you know, frame by frame what to do, would you have action? Yes! Yes. Excellent question. So, the system is not one queue. It is a whole array of queues. So I was very particular about my language earlier, about this to-do list system. When I get to this item of, hey, move actor, I specifically said if we are not done moving the actor, do not process anything in this to-do list. But there are other queues running at the same time, and they can have the exact same types of actions in them. Now, the whole reason I'm doing that is for the weirdness of things like an enemy dying. So, player walks up to enemy, smacks him, and player doesn't care what happens. Player is going to dutifully go back and walk back to the starting position and go back into a little idle animation. Meanwhile, a new queue is spun up that says, okay, I took damage, I need to generate a little damage effect, deduct HP, play the hurt animation, and then wait 1 second, determine if I'm still alive, and if not, play a death animation, and then award XP, and do this and do this. And so that whole thing, that whole mess is the action queues. Each action queue can operate independently. As soon as an action queue is empty, it gets trashed. And anytime I need to, I can throw in a new action queue. There's usually not a ton of them running, typically 1 or 2, but it can get more involved. Oh, and that's not all. It goes up a layer further than that. I'm getting my mad scientist soapbox here. Because in addition to having all of these queues running, that's all contained within the battle event system. Which is much more abstract, and the battle event system does not run if there are any queues happening. If there are any action queues running, the battle event system is paused. Once all action queues are empty, and therefore deleted, and there are no action queues remaining, we move to the next step of battle. And that is very abstract, such as enemies take their turn, process status effects, get user takes turns, and then a few other like bookkeeping things like make sure everyone is facing the correct direction at the end of every turn, that kind of weird stuff. But yeah, it's a lot going on in a fun way. What is a heal effect? Yeah, it kind of grew out of necessity for these conflicting events. Like, if the enemy is like having to do things like, oh, change into a hurt animation, die, play effect there, I don't want everything else to come to a halt while that's happening. I still want the camera to be kind of, moving to whatever the target is. I still want the actors to be moving to where I've told them to go. And so I had to have a list of cues individually being processed. Okay, it's simple. It's heal effects, HP. It's this. This is the object that goes in a property called HP. Target. Pool. Target's HP. Amount? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this is our heal object. This needs a requirement. This heal is only available if the mollusk is alive, right? So it's got to be source.side.size is greater than 1. I have to have a living teammate. That's the requirement for this move. This move can only happen. Oh, but that's not all. Oh boy, hang on. It's more complicated than that, I realize. Let's see here. Target is source.side filter. Give me all of the characters on this side of the battlefield that are not me. Grab the first one. That's the target. Target.hp .current is less than target HP max value. Max is a reserved keyword. Well, not keyword, but it's a function, and so it yelled at me a lot for that. It did not care for me using the word max as the property name. So I'm going to say HP is less than max minus 10. How much HP am I saying that these guys have? $20 each. Is that fair? For being two of them, that seems reasonable. For a mid-boss. Bowser 1 was a mid-boss in TTYD. He had 30 HP on his own. Jeez, okay. Well, then a 20 and a 20 sounds rough. Then again, Chapter 2, if we roll back up to... Okay. Shadow Sirens were like 10, 12, 9. Okay. Magnus von Grapple was 30 HP with a summon. Bowser gets you after another fight, so him being a little bit lower on HP makes a lot of sense. I think 20 and 20 is a reasonable amount. So we're gonna say, oh, how much is the Bullfrog? Bullfrog is like 12 or something. Okay. Once you drop below, no, Bullfrog has to be like 20. Once one of them is below half, then you can use this healing move, which restores 10 HP back. Can he use that more than once? Think about this. Can he use it more than once? Temporarily, let's just say he can always use this, just so I can see it happen. Easy. He didn't heal. Uh-oh. Because he doesn't have moves yet. Oh, man. All right. Redo. Do-over. Give me 3 birds. Hard. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. What is this? What's the problem here? What's the problem here? Sprite holder. Global position. Battle unit. Aha. You don't throw in the target, you throw in the target actor. Target is the abstract representation of the collection of stats for the enemy. Actor is the thing in the world. Still no good. Amount. Heal effect. HP heal effects. I see. I think I did this wrong. It's supposed to be an array. It's supposed to be an array. That makes sense, actually, because you could... Wait, why are there... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because you could be healing multiple entities, and it could actually be applying MP to multiple entities in different amounts. The system is very capable of doing lots of different things. Oh, I'm always a little bit late on that one. There we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Put that flag away. Okay, but it works. That's the important thing. It works. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do when... when you beat the Molsk? A real red flag. Waka waka. Oh yeah, that's something. I want to I want to set the flag color. There we go. So that I can have different moves, have different colors of flag. So we'll have one move that heals, one move that gives him like a strength buff or something. Maybe he can do it all the time, but like in small amounts. But you never know which one it's going to be. So typically you're going to be able to churn out a pretty solid like 2 HP or so, right? Per unit. If you use like really powerful attacks at this stage in the game, if you're pretty well equipped, you've got a move available that can deal 6 damage in one attack, and then your partner can deal 2. For a total of 8 damage, plus firecracker accumulation. But you're not going to be doing that every turn. You're going to be dealing, with good action commands, 4 damage. So if I say that he can heal for 5, I'm also going to put a requirement in on the turn. Here we go. The turn number. I'm going to say that it's only every other turn that he can do it. And it only heals for 5. That means you can easily overpower his heal and still have time for a heal yourself now and again. But you can still get that feeling of, oh my gosh, stop healing. Okay, and then next time what we can do is we can add in a buff effect that gives him a little extra strength. So yeah, King is just going to be buffing. In fact, King strength. I need to make sure this works. Okay, get rid of this. This is just going to say, is there an opponent? So you may remember back in the prologue, we got a power up effect, which is cool. And we can do that again. But instead of heal, We're going to do power up effect on target, not on source, and it's going to be for 1 turn. Potency 2 for 1 turn. Now he goes last, so I think I have to put it in as 2 turns, or it's not going to work. Because the first turn, it doesn't process. So he's just going to do his thing. Whoop. We don't like that. We don't like that. Invalid access on 0 because there are none. That's not true, though. Source.side. There is an entity that's not me. Source side is an array of 2. And they are not the same object. So this would have returned at least 1 object, right? Hang on. How does that happen? What did I screw up? All right, so now we can look at friends. Array of size 0. Oh, shoot. I'm using C# notation. You have to include a return. There's no syntactical sugar available for this. Filters have to do return. I'm really struggling with that. That keeps getting me. Okay, that's fine. It wasn't a problem earlier because I was doing an early return for testing. Okay, so he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything again. Because he doesn't own this move yet. He needs it in his repertoire. What is he? If I make this guy buff only. Nice, I actually got the block for once. Okay, so he's got 1 turn of +2 strength. Ow. And yeah, he's buffing him again because he has no other options. So what I can do is quite easily say like, oh yeah, red is for healing, dark red for strength. Ooh, I can just make him like just spit out blue for defense. Easy stuff, easy stuff. Defense up for 1 round. Yeah, this will add some variety here, because normally when I do status effect buffing bosses, the big problem is that the enemy has to spend a turn putting on the status effect, and that's like, well, you barely got any extra damage as a result. But if you've got like a backline healer, then like, okay, that's something. we're gonna queue up a raid here in just a bit. I think I would love to extract this out into a function. Get king status move. Yeah, I've got him up in the second tab here. Color, flag color. Effect, good luck. And turn count, potency. Let's say run king status move for now. And it's just gonna do the whole thing for you. Don't need that. So I do need a target. I do also need a target. It will do this. Effect here. Potency. It is here, right? Potency and then duration. Potency, duration, effect, flag color. Boom. Oh, nope. And I need the source. Hudson, hello. How you doing? So then the whole move just looks like this. Color goes here. Effect goes here. Turn count 2, potency 2. That is a nice quick move right there. And then do the same thing here. Blue, defense up. Turn count 1. So we can just slap down more of these moves. Oh, tired. I'm about to go to bed. We had a very rough first hour of stream. Germdove had a good idea, and then it turned out to not be feasible without a lot of work. And so I'm rethinking it. The idea was a slow status effect. You know, RPGs love their status effects, and I love status effects. So the idea was like for slow, in turn-based combat, that might be something like it changes who goes first, but that doesn't really apply for this engine. So then it might be like, oh well, you skip every other turn. It's like, yeah, that doesn't work great either, because like for reasons that doesn't work great. And Germdove was like, what if you intentionally add controller lag? Like every input you put in gets delayed by like half a second, which would be funny in the menus, but would actually affect gameplay for the QuickTime event action command stuff when you're fighting. I know. I was like, all right, I'm kind of into it. And so the idea would be like every time the game receives controller input, I would just not process it and store it for later, and then like half a second later, play it out. And so all those cases where it's like, okay, press A with good timing to get bonus damage, you would just be like, I hope this works. And it'd be really funny. But Godot does not make it easy to do that, because why in the world would it? I can think of some ways to do it, but it would mean I have to remember for the rest of this project to not use the built-in input functions and to use my special custom ones, which that could get really bad. It's like I could do it as a one-time, like, all right, I'll spend like 3 days working on it. It's functional. It does everything I need it to. I can turn the delay on and off depending on whose turn it is. Like, oh, well, this character has the status effect, so turn it on. This character doesn't, turn it off. But then for the entire rest of the project, I'd have to use this new system that's not a built-in for the engine for like every move I make or everything that could be related to combat, and that would really be bad. Yeah, it's like it'd be tedious just to handle the existing cases, but it becomes dangerous when I realize that, like, okay, all future code has to fit this new format. It's like, oh, I'm gonna miss something. It just becomes likely to introduce problems. All right, I'm gonna get a raid going for small. It would be rough because it would be like the bug reports would be like this one particular move that you get in like chapter 5 doesn't get affected by the slow status effect. It's like, how? Yeah, okay, yep, you got me. And it would just be that kind of stuff over and over. I'd hate that. All right. Okay, we can get rid of this. GQ's had fun. He's not. I don't even think he's here anymore. Yeah, it was good to see you, Hudson. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you well. All right, let's all get some good rest. I think that's what we all need. We're gonna go over to Small. He's working on his game. We'll say hello, hang out for a little bit, and then I gotta get to bed. Good night, everybody. Bye.